So children, as you know, we have been doing this chapter, chemical analytics. Now in this video, we'll be discussing about instantaneous rate of reaction. Instantaneous rate of reaction. We'll be discussing about average rate of reaction. We'll be discussing about factors on which rate of chemical reaction depends. And at last we'll talk about order and molecularity. Order and molecularity of reaction. So first let us take up this topic, instantaneous rate of reaction. Suppose we have a conical flask and a chemical reaction is taking place. Suppose chemical reaction taking place is A to B. So A is a reactant and B is the product. So this reaction is taking place inside this conical flask, and with time concentration of A will decrease and concentration of B will gradually increase. At 0 time concentration of B is 0. With time concentration of A, which is a reactant, is going to decrease, and concentration of B, which is a product, is going to increase. Now suppose we make a table here, and we have time and concentration of A. Suppose at 5 minutes, at 10 minutes, at 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, at this regular time interval, we will find out the concentration of A. So concentration of A we are trying to follow, and there are different ways by which we can measure the concentration of A at a different point of time, and one of the method is by titration, which you are familiar with. So concentration of A at different point of time, we will note it here after doing titration, and these experimental findings we will plot. We'll plot it. So here we have concentration of A, and here we plot time. So as A is a reactant, concentration of A is going to decrease. Suppose at 0 time its value was this, then at some other time it will be this, then it will be this, suppose. So you see concentration of A is gradually decreasing. So we get a curve like this. Okay, now first what is instantaneous rate of reaction? Instantaneous rate of reaction is like we have discussed here yesterday in the previous video, like rate of a reaction, we can consider it as decrease this by this expression we can express the rate of reaction. Rate of this reaction is this, and rate of reaction changes with time. Rate of a reaction changes with time. So rate at a particular instant of time, at a particular moment of time, is called instantaneous rate of a reaction. So suppose we want to find rate of the reaction, say at this point of time. At this point of time, what is the rate of this reaction? So what we do, we draw a perpendicular line. So this line is meeting the curve. At this point, what we will do, we will draw a tangent. We will draw a tangent to the curve, and the slope of this tangent, slope of this tangent will be instantaneous rate of reaction at this point of time. So in this way, from the graph we can experimentally determine instantaneous rate of reaction. Suppose we want to find the instantaneous rate of reaction, say at this point of time. So again, same thing, we will draw a line perpendicular to the x-axis, and where it is meeting the curve, at that point we will have to draw the tangent, and the slope of this tangent will be the instantaneous rate of reaction at that point of time. Okay, now average rate of reaction. What is average rate of reaction? Suppose this time is say T1 and this time is say T2. Suppose we want to find average rate of reaction, average over this time interval. Now concentration of A, it is say at this time it is say A1. Concentration of A at this time, say it is A2. So average rate of reaction over this time interval will be change in concentration of A by time taken, like that. Now since we are involving a reactant, we put a minus sign and what will be this value? This value will be final concentration, that is A2 minus initial concentration A1 by T2 minus T1. So this quantity will give us average rate of reaction over this time interval. So children, I hope you are clear about the difference between instantaneous rate of reaction and average rate of reaction. So this in calculus notation that you should know this thing that suppose dA by dt. If this is the average rate, then this is called the instantaneous rate of reaction. So what will be the instantaneous rate of reaction? Limiting value of this in mathematics, in calculus notation, limit delta t tends to 0 minus delta A by delta t. So this is instantaneous rate. So what will be the instantaneous rate? Limit delta t tends to 0 and limiting value of minus this delta A by delta t. It is called the instantaneous rate of reaction. Okay, now children, we had done this graph following reactant. We can follow the product also. If we follow the product, suppose we are plotting concentration of B with time, then naturally at initial time concentration is 0 and gradually it's going to increase. The concentration of B is going to increase. So if you take product, the graph will be like this. If you take reactant, the graph will be like this. But it is all the same. Okay, now coming to factors on which rate of chemical reaction depends. There are many factors on which rate of chemical reaction depends. Factors on which rate of chemical reaction depends. Number one factor, which is very important, is nature of reactants. What are the reactants? So depending upon the reactants, rate of a reaction depends. For example, suppose burning of coal, where coal is the reactant, and say burning of petrol, where petrol is the reactant, and burning of petrol is much faster than the burning of coal. So in this way, it depends on the nature of the reactant. Next factor is, say, concentration of reactants. Concentration of reactants, and more is the concentration of reactant, more will be the rate of reaction. Let me give one example to illustrate this point. You must have seen in traditional chullas, when people cook food in traditional chullas, what they do is they use a blowpipe and blow. They blow with the help of blowpipe. On blowing, what happens? Concentration of oxygen increases, because the fuel is to burn the fuel, oxygen is required, and with that, when we use blowpipe, concentration of oxygen increases, and it is in this way rate of reaction increases. Okay, the third point is your surface area. Surface area of reactants. If the reactants are finely divided, if the reactants are in small pieces, if the reactants have more surface area, then rate of reaction also will be more. Next is temperature. Temperature, has a profound effect on the rate of reaction. So we will be discussing it separately later on. Next is presence of catalyst. Presence of catalyst. This is quite common. You know what is catalyst. Catalyst influences the rate of reaction tremendously. And next and the final point we can write here is exposure. Exposure to radiations. Okay, if radiations are there, if radiations are falling on the reactants, then also rate of reaction increase. So these are the important factors, on which rate of chemical reaction depends. Now, a very important topic on this chapter is order and molecularity of reaction. Now, we have just learned that rate of reaction, depends on concentration. Suppose this is a reaction, say A, two products. Suppose this reaction. And, if concentration of A, we denote it by this. So, rate will be directly proportional to concentration of A. Now, it can be like this also. Now, rate can be directly proportional to, second power of concentration. Rate can be directly proportional to third power of concentration. Now, whether it will be on the first power, or whether it will be in the second power, or whether it is on the third power, that we don't know. That we can understand only after performing experiment. After performing experiment, we will be able to know whether the first one is correct, the second one is correct, the third one is correct. Now, from the first one, we get this one, R is equal to, a proportionally constant will come. So K e to the power 1. If this is true, then it will be R K e to the power 2. If this is correct, R will be equal to K e to the power 3. And these are called a rate law expression. Rate law expression, where R is the rate of the reaction and this K, which is a proportionally constant, is called the rate constant. Now, if this reaction follows this rate law equation, where the power of A is 1, then we will say that this reaction is first order reaction. If this is a rate law expression, R is equal to K e to the power 2. If this is a rate law expression followed by this reaction, then it will be a second order reaction, because the power here is 2. And it will be a third order reaction, if this is the rate law equation that is followed. As I already said to you, which rate law equation will be followed, it depends upon the reaction certainly, and we can understand whether it will be this or this or this after performing the experiment. Without performing the experiment, just looking at the reaction, we cannot say it will be first order, second order, or third order reaction. The order can also be fractional. Order can also be fractional. I am giving you example of a fractional order reaction. So decomposition of acetaldehyde. Acetaldehyde, it decomposes into methane plus carbon monoxide. Now this chemical reaction, it is seen after performing experiment that the rate law expression for this reaction, it is R is equal to K concentration of CH3CHO to the power 3 by 2. So it is an example of fractional order reaction, because here you see the power, it is 3 by 2. It is fraction. Order of reaction can also be 0. There are, if the power here is 0, then it is called zero order reaction. Now, coming to the general case, suppose we have a reaction AA plus BB arrow products, and suppose after performing experiment, the experimental rate law is found to match with this A to the power alpha, B to the power beta. So this reaction on performing, if we see the rate law expression to be this, then we say that the order of this reaction is alpha plus beta. So what is actually order of reaction? Order of reaction is defined as the sum of the exponents, some of the powers of the concentration term in the rate law expression. And we say that this reaction is alpha order with respect to A and beta order with respect to B. And the order of this reaction is alpha plus beta. So actually, like as we have discussed here, rate of reaction depends on concentration of reactant. How it depends on concentration of reactant, that we come to know, but that is actually what is known as order of reaction. So generally, we have first order reaction, we have second order reaction, we also have third order reaction, but in your syllabus, we have only first order reaction and zero order reaction. Third order reaction is not there in your syllabus. And one more thing, let me tell you here is that reactions with order more than 3 generally doesn't happen. Okay, now the last topic for today is molecularity of reaction. Molecularity of reaction. Let me consider this reaction. your 2HI gaseous, H2 gaseous plus I2 gaseous. Suppose this reaction. Now you know how this reaction is actually taking place. This is HI. So H bond I is there. So this is one molecule of HI, and I am writing another molecule of HI. And so what happens is that during chemical reaction there occurs collision between the molecules. There occurs collision between the molecules, and then only a chemical reaction takes place. So this molecule collides with this molecule, and when this molecule collides with this molecule, what happens is this bond gets weaker. That's why I shown by broken line, and a new bond gets formed between this and this. A new bond gets formed between this and this, and ultimately what happens is this bond gets totally broken. This bond gets totally broken, and this bond gets completely formed. So hydrogen molecule and iodine molecule results. As you can see, hydrogen and iodine molecule results. So this reaction always takes place in this way. Two molecules at a time collide and form the products. So the molecularity of this reaction, we say it is 2. Molecularity of this reaction is 2. So what is molecularity of a reaction? The number of reacting species, it can be atoms, molecules or ions, which collide simultaneously, resulting in a chemical change, is called molecularity of a reaction. If suppose 3 molecules are taking part in a result leading to chemical change, then molecularity of the reaction will be 3. If only one molecule is taking part, then molecularity of the reaction is 1. Reaction with molecularity 1 is also called unimolecular reaction. Reaction with molecularity 2 is called bimolecular reaction. Now similarly here also reactions with molecularity more than 3 doesn't happen. I will give you the reason later on. Now you should not take it this way that its molecularity is 2 because here the coefficient is 2. It's not because of this. It is because how many molecules are colliding leading to the change. Because you see this reaction, somebody can also write like this: 4HI arrow 2H2 plus 2I2. This reaction we can also write like this. Now it doesn't mean that molecularity of this reaction will be 4. Molecularity of this reaction is 2 only. Molecularity of this reaction also is 2. This reaction also is 2. So molecularity actually doesn't depend on the coefficient. It depends on or it is how many molecules are actually colliding simultaneously that leads to what? Chemical change. So children, we have covered all the topics that we were supposed to do. This much for now. Bye bye and have a good day.